the thing of the past.
So, all right, so like you
But
said.
I'm not here to argue if abortion is correct or not correct, okay? I'm just here to answer your question about parking.
And you have, and we appreciate that.
Okay.
We do.
Okay.
But now we
If
have
you
a
want to know
concern.
more, then I'll have our pastor get in touch with you if you want to leave me some information.
Okay, we have this
Okay.
that we'd like to give
Okay.
you, and do you
Sure.
have are the churches guilty again, Ann? I don't have one.
I think I have one in the car, so I can bring one.
I'm glad to leave this with him, but right now our issue is just parking.
Well, if I could say this one thing, this is a Christian church,
Yes,
and just a few doors down is a place where little children are being killed.
I know, but I'm not
What
here
is-
to discuss that with you now.
Well, what would
Okay.
you say is the correct Christian? How should Christians live in a world where we're
I
killing our children?
don't think that it's right. But I'm speaking for myself, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know anywhere in our church. Do you, Deanna? I'm
Where?
talking to my daughter. She's over in Italy, if you can imagine this.
Oh.
Do you
Oh,
know
you're on the
any?
phone?
Yeah. Do you
Hi,
know?
Deanna
Do
in
you know
Italy. Hi,
anywhere in any of our doctrines that talks about abortion? Uh-huh. Right, it talks about don't murder, right, exactly, yeah.
I'd like to
Do
be
I
blessed.
think that it was right back in Bible times when they offered children sacrifices? No, I don't think that's right.
Mhm.
I don't think that's pleasing to the Lord.
Right, and
So that's what
God
they're-
says that too, and that's what's
Right.
going on now with abortion.
But
Is-
the parking is with our liability.
I
That's what
understand.
our
Right,
parking
so
is with,
we understand everything about the parking, and we have switched, to talking about this, just because this is a matter of life and death. And it's much, much bigger than the parking issue.
Right, so that's why I thought if you want to talk to our pastor about it, it's
Mhm.
fine with me. I'm really not the person to talk about it to.
Is he available?
We just had staff meeting and he just left maybe a half an hour ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we just really would like to challenge you personally, to think about this and think about this issue the way God sees it. God says.
Well, I said I don't believe in abortion just because it's an inconvenient thing. If it's a health issue and something has to happen, that may be different, but I don't think the clinic is the place to go and do stuff like that. So if that's what you're asking me, that's what my answer would be.
Well, there were people back in the days of slavery who said that, that they didn't believe in slavery, but if somebody else wanted to own them, that was their business, or they,
But
there
don't
was
you
just
have a
this-
right to do what you want to do in this country?
but not where it's going to cause harm to other people. If I was going to walk into Altamont
Okay,
Mall
that's
with
fine.
a
There's
bomb
just no
strapped
point
to
in
me,
this
I would be arrested.
So
Well,
what do you want me to do?
Well, we're just talking to you now, hopefully as friends. We're concerned, about
Okay.
the stand or the lack of a stand from the Seventh-day Adventist against abortion.
But I'm telling you that this is my opinion. I'm not
Mhm.
giving you the church's opinion. If you want the church's opinion, then really the pastor is the one
Mhm.
to speak with. And
Well,
not
we
me.
would love to set up a meeting
Sure.
with him.
Okay, I'll let him know, but do you have a contact number here?
We can write down our number.
Sure.
Um,
And I'm glad to give it to him. But I'm just telling you in terms of parking, that is we just don't allow other people to use the parking lot. We have a contract with the doctor's office,
Mhm.
so
let me see
you
if I
go
can
ahead
find
and
it
give me
somewhere.
your name and everything. And I'm glad to let him know.
Let me give you one of our resource packets, because that.
Would I ever tell anybody to get an abortion? No, I wouldn't.
Now, what if what if the mother's health was at risk? Or you felt like it
Well,
was,
I
or she
think it
told you
needs
that
to
it
be,
was?
I think it needs to be not her opinion, but a
Mhm.
medical opinion.
I don't know if you're aware of this, but Florida
Mm-hmm.
Hospital in Winter Park actually has an abortionist on their staff, Seventh-day Adventist. Florida Hospital. Emil Falsky does abortions for Planned
Mhm.
Parenthood.
Well, you have to take that up with them.
Right, I'm just letting you know that we had thought that the Seventh-day Adventist had taken and would take a very strong stand against murder, including the murder of the preborn. And so after we found this out and we started trying to go, through the channels at Florida
Mhm.
Hospital, we pretty much found out what you're saying, that there's not a stand for life from the pulpit. So, the pastors, it would seem, in the Seventh-day Adventist churches are not taking a stand and being a voice for the little babies.
Well, I don't think it's really been an issue for us here, at least on our campus here.
Do you think, though, that there are not young women in this church, or the schools and the different Seventh-day Adventist churches who are getting pregnant and having abortions?
Probably are.
But see, if nobody is preaching about it, nobody is talking about it and telling what God says.
Okay, so we do preach the commandments, okay? And we preach about thou shalt not kill. But I can't stop you from going out here and lying about somebody, and that's killing their character. So if we preach that, you can't make anybody do anything. It's an individual choice.
But individuals can make the wrong choice. So I think part of that
honey, individuals make the wrong choice all the time. That's why we have rules on the road, because people they can't keep the rules.
But when I say something, I think it is the moral, I would even eventually say it's the moral obligation of pastors, whether in this church or in other churches.
That's why I said you need to talk with him.
My statement, if that's okay.
Thank you. So, did I take your? Oh, you did.
What's your number?
Okay.
My number is 407.
I'm really not here to argue.
256. We're not wanting to argue.
But
no, she's just wanting to state. Can she just state?
You asked me about parking, and I told you, and that's fine. And any other issue, I think it would be best to take up with our pastor. If you're asking about our church issue and where we stand, then I think the pastor would be the one that you would really prefer to speak with.
Is this the pastor?
No, I don't know who this is.
I get your point out. Go ahead. Go for it. 472565958.
So we have the copy, so there is my information and everything. You are not with us, no? Because I have another person right here. Okay.
No, we're not.
Okay. Is it okay if I can have one word with this one?
Yes, but I'm dealing with these
Okay.
people now,
Okay.
so maybe go.
Okay. I pass again.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay. So I think if you have those issues that you wonder about where our church is standing, then I think the pastor would be the best one to speak with.
But it's not just about talking about where your church stands, or because I see that you're deflecting a lot of what we're saying. You're trying to pass it off. Oh, we can talk to the pastor to see what you're kind of reluctant to make a stand.
Did I tell you where I stood, sweetie? I told you that I don't believe in abortion.
But you're not
unless it's a medical thing. And I don't have a decision for anybody. I mean, I don't have anybody to make that decision for right now.
But here's the thing: you also said that it's on an individual basis, and I think that's something that we need to address. That murder is murder. That we shouldn't treat it as just a choice that we just on an individual basis, where we don't want to go out and say that it is in fact murder, that it is in fact wrong. I think a big problem.
I don't even think we make that we don't even state that.
But I think the Bible has a lot to say about murder, say in the Ten Commandments, but also it talks about how the Lord hates the hands that shed innocent blood. So I think just looking at the Bible itself, what the Bible says, I think we have an obligation in our country to speak out about this evil. Every Christian, and not just what our church should stand for, but every individual Christian, talk about it on an individual standpoint. We need to stand up and say this is wrong. We need to call it out for what it is. And I think that if you continue to deflect it and sort of pass it off to let's let the church, the church make a stand on it. If you just let,
I thought
kind
I
of
said
pass
it
it
was
off.
an individual decision, right?
But see, even that, you're basically you're in a way you're sort of
So
letting murder
come
happen.
in here and you tell me that you're pregnant and you're going to go get an abortion, and I say, no, I don't believe that. I think that's wrong. And I tell you all this, and you go, I'm going to go do it anyway. What do? Tie you to a chair?
No, but at least you're being a
sounds to me
voice.
like
At
you're
least you're being a
saying.
voice for the
Well,
voiceless.
right. If
And
somebody
that is
asked
your
me
goal.
that, then I would.
And that's why I think pastors should be at the pulpit
Well, that's
preaching about
fine.
this and
That's
sharing
fine. I
this.
think you should
And-
talk to him.
But that's
You
why
get
I'm
what I'm
asking
saying?
you work for this church. Go talk to the pastor about this. Tell him we need to be speaking out about this
Excuse
horrendous evil in this country. So that's what I would encourage you to do.
And right, and be glad to pass this on to our pastor, and he can speak with you. I mean, you could set up an appointment with him, and he
We'd
can
love
speak
to.
with you. Sure, sure.
Because little children are being killed right down the street here. And so you all can make a huge difference.
Yes, you have an
can
amazing
rescue their
opportunity.
lives. You could speak
You
up
really
for them.
do.
Yeah,
It's
well,
exciting.
it's not a decision that I would make anyway, so
And-
he would be the
right.
one to speak to, yeah.
But you just even as an individual, you know, you have an obligation to, the Bible calls us in Proverbs 24,
Well,
to rescue those being led away to
I don't know what you're asking me
death.
to do.
We're
You're
asking you
asking
to
me to go
consider-
down there and stand and protest?
Yes, well,
Oh,
we're out there
that's
offering
what you're
help.
asking me to do.
We're offering help to the babies and the moms. We're out there to be a voice for the little children.
Mhm.
And actually, we're abolitionists, which means just as the abolitionists that
Yes.
ended slavery, that is our goal also. It's not just to stand here. Although this is wonderful to be able to reach out to these mothers and offer help. And when you can
Okay.
hold a baby that was once scheduled to be aborted, and you're holding them, holding this
I'm
child,
sure, I'm a
but-
mom, I understand
Yes,
that.
but back to
And
what
what
I'm
I'm saying is, I will be glad to let our pastor know that you stopped by, and I'm sorry that I'm not doing what you want me to do right now, but I'll pass this on to him, okay?
I'm just concerned because you're making a very
Okay.
passive stance on this,
Oh,
and
my goodness gracious. I'm not making a passive stand.
you are, by leaving it up to the individual and just kind of passing it off on them. I'm very concerned. I think a big
Well,
problem
I
in
will be
American
sure and
churches-
let him know that that's how you felt. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just not here to argue.
Or
So
you get to
our
reason
policy is we just don't allow other people to park in the parking lot. And that's what I thought you came to ask me. So that's my answer. The other part, I will be glad to talk to our pastor about and let him know. And I know you're not happy with that answer, but that's my answer.
We're not
Okay.
expecting you to answer for the pastor. We don't expect that. We're talking to you from
But
as
I
individuals.
already told you what I believe. What did I tell you I believed?
Well, you said that abortion is
What did
wrong.
I tell you I
You
believe?
said that you would not counsel a woman to have an abortion, but
Unless what?
unless her health was in danger.
Unless it was medically necessary.
But you know, the thing is, it's not medically
that's not
necessary.
my call. How
The
do I
Surgeon
know?
General has said that there has never been an instance in all his years of
Okay.
practice.
Okay. Well, you don't have to convince me. Okay.
What we're wanting to convince you of is that
What
God-
you just want me to say? Abortion is wrong. That's what you want me to say.
well,
Yes.
we've allowed
no,
this.
that's what you want me to say.
Well, let me verbalize, please. Our culture is guilty of the bloodshed of the innocent.
This is not an open
Ma'am,
discussion.
she's trying to
Thank you.
complete a
I
statement.
really need to get back to work, and I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just saying this. I'm not ready for this discussion with you.
It doesn't matter how you treat us and whether you're mean or not to us. We're asking you to plead for the lives of the little babies who are being slaughtered.
Okay, I am
Just,
just happy to
you know,
to pray.
a few
if you want
hundred
me to go
feet.
down there and protest,
If
I'm
you,
not that
if you
person.
give us a couple minutes, we can explain what that entails.
I know, but I can't. I don't have it right now. But thank you so much for stopping by. That's all I can say. Okay. Thank you.